I don't know what happened. Stop recording. But anyway, I remember what I was saying. What was I saying, bro? Something about the sub-Saharan Africans. I think I'm saying that they created the Neanderthal. Let's beat on ahead because this thing is really unpredictable. And I'm just going to read what this says. And I'll explain after I'm done reading. These dates indicate that anatomically modern man occurs sympatrically and possibly even predates the Rhodesian group of Neanderthals in Africa. Modern man might also be contemporary to and possibly even predates the occurrence of Neanderthal in Europe. This would indicate that the modern man did not evolve from, but possibly gave rise to, the Neanderthals as offshoots. Africans carry a surprising amount of Neanderthal DNA. Ghost DNA. An unknown extinct hominin has been found in a modern human genome. Using whole genome data from present-day West Africans, scientists have found a small portion of genetic material that appears to have come from this mysterious lineage, which is thought to have split off from the human family tree even before Neanderthals. As such, modern West Africans, like populations in Yoruba and Mendi, do not possess genes from either of these ancient species, but that doesn't mean there was no intermixing. Okay. Point is that they both possess. The Yoruba and the Mendi people possess genes from this ancient group of people who predate the Neanderthal, or created the Neanderthal. The researchers tracked how new variants of genes arose in each branch of humans. For the most part, the data fit the current thinking about human evolution. But in a few populations in West Africa, such as the Yoruba of Nigeria and the Mandi of Sierra Leone, some of the DNA contained variants not found in other living humans, or even in Neanderthals or Denisovans. So again, these people predate the Neanderthal and Denisovan. And the Yoruba have some sort of connection with the tribe of Ephraim, but that just really means the tribe of Ephraim went and integrated with those people, not the other way around, like some people seem to think. This is their stuff. This is their culture. That's their land. We are Americans. At least I am. At least I am. Interbreeding event in West Africa may have been quite recent in evolutionary terms, even though this new unknown species split off from the Homo vine well over 500,000 years ago, before the split of Neanderthals and Homo sapiens. Before. They are the progenitors of the Neanderthal. This is them, bro. Their revolution comes years after the discovery that non-African contained genetic signals from Neanderthals and Denisovans. But in this case, the authors demonstrate that by statistical methods, these sequences cannot have originated in Neanderthals, Denisovans, or African populations such as Southern African Khoisan or Central African Pygmies. So, this ghost DNA, it only really came from West Africa. It could not have originated in even some of the oldest groups of Africa. It did not. So who are these things? They predate the oldest people by DNA on the planet. The West Africans do. So where do they descend from? Type of blue-eyed people among them that seem to have a proclivity for troublemaking. They have red or blonde hair and blue eyes and lived in the edge of the desert. The Egyptians called them Tamahu, the created ones, a clear allusion to their unnatural origins. More recently, a Jewish scientist at the University of Copenhagen confirmed that all blue-eyed humans have a single common ancestor. Dr. Hans Eisberg refers to this condition as a genetic mutation, and he says that it occurred 6 to 10,000 years ago. According to Mr. Elijah Muhammad, this is exactly when Yakub's work began on Patmos. Further, Dr. Eisberg and his team found a specific gene known as the OCA2 gene, which, if altered, would result in human beings being without melanin in their hair, eyes, or skin, a condition known as albinism. Thus, this OCA2 gene was targeted and manipulated by some force or event around 6,000 years ago. There you go. These are the daddies. Not my daddy, but their daddies. They created them. The African created them. This explains the other known reason why suddenly around 2000 BCE, vast hordes of these white barbarians left the Caucasus region and stormed all of the so-called black civilizations throughout Mesopotamia, the Near East, Africa, and India, destroying and usurping them. And they're saying that they pushed them into the Caucasus region and they broke out, right? This is where some of these people come from, bro. They are the Anunnaki. They are the ones who created these beings. They are the scientists. And again, originally we all have brown eyes, says Hans Eisberg. And pretty much, something occurred and all people with blue eyes come from a singular ancestor. The Teros. Teros, a term describing various human groups who inhabit the cavern systems and re-established antediluvian cities beneath the North American continent. Many of these may be descended from early American colonists, while others are apparently descended from older civilizations, such as ancient Native Americans, who went underground hundreds or thousands of years ago. They also refer to the Duro, which apparently consists of draconian elements. The Teros come from the planet Jomen in the star constellation Arcturus, which is in the Bootes constellation. Arcturus, the red giant, the fourth brightest star in heaven, is where much mixing took place. The Sunaeans have 28 chromosomes instead of the normal 46 that Earth people possess. The Taro chromosome structure is so different from Earthlings that when mixed with certain humans, it caused a defect of 47 chromosomes, which today is called Down syndrome. And that sounded like it's an allusion to the story of Lot, but I don't know. Their children are usually born with breathing defects as well as congenital heart disease, and they also have poor digestive systems. Their immune system is unable to function properly, and they are more apt to developing leukemia. The Taros have an abundance of pigmentation. The Taros that have an abundance of pigmentation in their skin are descendants of the Shuyuk. And when I looked that up, this is what it said. This is where it led me to. It's an honorific title in the Arabic language. It commonly designates a chief of a tribe or royal family member. It is also commonly referred to a Muslim religious scholar. The term could be literally translated to elder. So there's some sort of Islamic, incestuous Down syndrome. I don't know. But, I don't know, kind of sounding like the sons of Lot, the sons of Ishmael, right? So, those lacking in pigmentations are the descendants of the Halabians, the Flugurads, or Flugelrods, or the Pulub. The Taros burrowed further into the earth and were able to keep their sanity. Because of crossbreeding, the Taros took on different forms. Some look so human, they can come to the surface and not be noticed. Do some of these people come from Taros? And I told you about something that I believe was given to me as a message last week or a few weeks ago, but it had to do with the so-called ants and the giants. One of the most intriguing Hopi legends involves the ant people, who were crucial to survive to the survival of the Hopi, not once but twice. The so-called First World was apparently destroyed by fire, possibly some sort of volcanism, asteroid strike, or coronal mass injection. The Second World was destroyed by ice or a polar shift. These two global cataclysms, the virtuous members of the Hopi tribe were guided by an odd-shaped cloud during the day and moving star at night that led them to the sky god named Sotung Tuknag, who finally took them to the ant people, in Hopi, Anu Sinam. The ant people then escorted the Hopi into subterranean caves where they found refuge and sustenance. In this legend, the ant people are portrayed as generous and industrious, giving the Hopi food when supplies ran short and teaching them the merits of food storage. In fact, another legend says that the reason why the ants have such thin waists today is because they once deprived themselves of provisions in order to feed the Hopi. Constellation Orion also has a thin waist. When Orion dominates the winter skies, the ants are deep in their small underground hills. These structures are similar in form to the Hopi kivas, which are subterranean communal prayer chambers. Coincidentally, the Sanskrit word kai means anthill and va means dwelling. So kiva means an anthill dwelling in the Sanskrit. Skipping down, it is interesting to note that the Babylonian sky god was named Anu. The Hopi word for ants is also Anu, and the Hopi root word Naki means friends. Thus, the Hopi Anunnaki or ant friends may have been the same as the Sumerian Anunnaki, the beings who once came from earth to the heavens. The ant people may have also lived in ancient Egypt. Anunnakin, the 18th dynasty pharaoh who ruled during that time, is shown in some depictions with an elongated skull, like the shape of an ant's head. Interesting. Perhaps it is more of a coincidence that the Egyptian word Sahu means stars over Orion, whereas the Hopi word Sohu means stars, or star, the most important of which are those in the constellation Orion. So, I know a lot of people say that that's where the fallen came from. They came from Orion. And now you have these ant people, right, with elongated skulls, the Homo compensis, the Yakub. Some of them are black, some of them are white. I was going to get into the Book of Mormon, so I'm not going to. I'll say that for another time. So I'm going to end the video, guys. I hope that this actually saves, but we'll see. May peace be with you. Silakallah.